Hello and welcome to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be covering yet another data leak from yet another organisation here in Australia. This time around it is the Qantas Dataleak that took place in June/July of this year. But first, before we proceed any further into the video, I'd like to thank my channel member Miss Love for getting early access to videos such as this one right here, as well as a little badge next to the name on both comments and live streams to show that they support me, so why not join them? Before we proceed any further, I would like to indeed say happy birthday to my father. I'm not going to disclose how old he is because that's personally identifiable information, which is something we're going to be covering in this video. Anyway, happy birthday, Dad. So, into the video. Now, on July the 2nd, 2025, Qantas publicly reported that they had a data leak of personally identifiable information. Now, this personally identifiable data leak was as a result of third-party data theft from a data center in Manila in the Philippines, as a result of Qantas wanting to cut corners and save money. Because at the moment in time, if you live in Australia or have any sort of knowledge about Qantas at the current moment in time are not exactly favoured by either the Australian government nor the Australian people. So, what happened is a data centre, well, a customer contact centre in the Philippines, specifically Manila, had data stolen from them due to a social engineering attack. Now, what was reported to be stolen and what is actually stolen remains to be seen. But what was reported to be stolen from this contact center in Manila was email addresses, frequent flyer account numbers, as well as the pins for said frequent flyer accounts, as well as names and addresses, as well as some with data, as well as date of births. Now, when Qantas released this information, they reported that it was up to 6 million pieces, up to 6 million accounts were compromised. Now, the problem with that is it doesn't matter if it's up to 6 million, it's still a problem that all of this data was stolen, because there were quite a lot of frequent flyer accounts that were stolen. Now, Qantas state that it's impossible or extremely hard to have the frequent flyer miles stolen due to the fact that they require multiple factor authentication to gain access to said frequent flyer. Now, using something like this, a YubiKey prevents most things being stolen, because without this you can't log into anything. I should know. I've lost it a few times and not been able to log into anything. This rules my life, especially for YouTube. If I don't have this, I can't log into YouTube. So, one of the things that Qantas have stated is they do not believe that there is any risk to customer frequent flyer miles. They did state, however, that no customer passports, no customer bank details were stolen as a result, because they do not keep that sort of information outside of Australia. They keep that information inside of Australia, which is good, clearly, because otherwise that data would have also been stolen. However, irregardless of whether it was stolen or not, all customer data should be kept on shore, in my opinion. But there we go, I'm not Qantas. So, Qantas stated that all of this data was stolen, but it's fine. Shouldn't need to worry. No customer account, no personally identifiable information was stolen, and everyone's fine. The problem with that is there was personally identifiable information stolen. Email addresses, date of births, locations, and telephone numbers were all stolen as a result of this attack. Now, whether this was a link between the Qantas data leak and the IINet data leak, it's possible. It could be the same organisation, the same group of people. It might not be. However, at the current moment in time, and as of the as of Qantas making it publicly known that 6 million pieces of customer data was stolen, that they were in contact with the Australian National Cybersecurity Centre, as well as external and independent cybersecurity specialists in regards to this matter. Now, the issue with this such thing happening is the fact it's things like this keep happening. Qantas don't really seem to care about their employees nor their customers, as earlier on this month they were fined $90 million fine, $90 million Australian dollar fine, for firing 1,500 workers during COVID, illegally firing those 1,500 workers during COVID, and they made roughly $500 million profit as a result of that. So realistically, it wasn't a fine, it was just a fee for doing it. Now, with so many customers' data being put at risk and stolen, you got to take into consideration 34% of all Australians collect Qantas frequent flyer points, frequent flyer miles, frequent flyer points, whatever you want to call them, and they have a cash equivalency value. Now, the problem with 34% of a country's population using said frequent miles, points, whatever you want to call them, is that it places a lot of people's information at risk. Now, Qantas are claiming it's only 6 million people that have had their information put at risk, but that's still 6 million too many. So, my recommendation as someone who is qualified in IT, who has taken the qualifications and does like to preach cybersecurity, is use two-factor authentication wherever possible, but do not use text message based two-factor. Things like this YubiKey is far more secure than text message. The reason why is text messages can and have been spoofed continually for as long as people have been able to figure out how to do it. This here cannot be spoofed. The only way this can be spoofed is if you copy exactly what's on here, and to do that you need to get within reach of me and find it. And you need to have another one, and so on and so forth. So you really need to know A, the password for this, and B, get into it. So good luck. But two-factor authentication is, well, multi-factor authentication, not two-factor, multi-factor authentication is an important thing to have, because if you don't have multi-factor, you can then be a continual victim of this sort of data breaching and data hacking that appears to be continually happening around the world. Now, Australia's had a bad go of it recently. That's not entirely down to the Australian people, that's down to bad actors. But ultimate security for your data, multi-factor authentication is a must. Please ensure you do it. Now, I want to thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. They both seem to work, even though you can only see one of them. And remember, when you use Linux, do not panic. I have been Nick. You have been amazing. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.